Welcome, Sojourners! You have found yourself a cozy place here at Sojourners Awake. I'm Jonathan, and this is our production of The Waking of Willowby Hall. If you've been around the TTRPG community, you know about Questing Beast and Ben Milton's wonderful game, The Waking of Willowby Hall. You can purchase this game for yourself on Drive-Thru RPG. We took this game and ran it as a one-shot with a couple friends, and you'd be so pleased to find out how exciting this module actually is. Enjoy the zany and exciting events that unfold, the complete random chaos that can ensue to keep your game master and your players on their toes. Enjoy our storytelling and dice as we play through The Waking of Willowby Hall. Once again, thanks to Ben Milton at Questing Beast for producing such a wonderful adventure. Background music and ambiance provided by Tabletop Audio. Find them at www.tabletopaudio.com. And so for now, our story continues. The Sojourners walked together, each of you side by side, across an expansive lawn. 200 feet away, you see the infamous Willowby Hall, a derelict and abandoned, dare I say, haunted manor. For 100 years, it has been abandoned and left to rot. And as you walk around the lawn, you notice that the garden, the lawn, everything well manicured, except for the house itself. The very windows seem to droop like ancient old eyelids. The door, rusted and dusty, remains shut, closed, to all the living. And as you walk here, you recount that you have recently accepted a dare by Elmer Catstrap, the fish merchant, a local guy who wanted you and dared you to access the treasure available in Willowby Hall, even despite the old stories of horror. For no one who has gone in had ever gone out. But that was 100 years ago. Surely the stories are just there to frighten off looters and raiders. But you, yourself, with times being hard, you take any chance you can get. Of course, Elmer would offer gold in exchange for any items delivered as proof of a successful raid. But who knows what other things you might find of value. And as you walk across this well-manicured lawn on your way to the manor, looking left and right, perhaps your imagination is filled with wonder of what exactly is the problem with Willowby Hall and why has no one bought it and renovated it within the last 100 years. Perhaps you are keeping your eyes on the horizon, looking for any kind of raiders that might desire to loot as well. You cannot possibly be the only ones with this level of bravery. And perhaps you're interested in the house itself, how it sits there like an ancient relic, unwilling to move from its location, almost as if it's stubbornly refusing to change amidst a thriving and cosmopolitan culture just 10 miles away in the city. And as you walk there with boots on the ground, side by side, how do each of you appear? Would you care to introduce what you look like? Elia Wormbait, as you are the de facto leader of this ragtag organization, shall you go first?
So Elia is wearing a shirt and jerkin and pants that have party-colored checkers on them, and she wears a hat with a few arms on it with bells hanging off the end, and she's got shoes with pointed ends that also have bells on them, and she just has the generic appearance of a trickster.
And Crimson, you walk alongside her. How do you appear?
I've got a lot of scales, a couple of wings, and I've got a matching hat, but they have worms instead of the arms.
And Gargesha, keeping up the rear. How do you appear as you walk with your Sojourners?
I, being a goblin, am completely naked. I have no need for clothes. I have somewhat rough, puttied colored skin, and I am definitely most comfortable when I have nothing between me and my perceptions of the world around me. I like to use all of my sensory perception to pull in the details of my environment.
And as you walk onto this manor, you have quite a walk ahead of you. As is custom, one begins to interact with each other as you walk along the road in order to demonstrate your relationships. For a luck point, you should continue. And as each of you drama and dialogue and create drama within the story, if I am entertained and pleased, I will award you a luck point. You can spend that luck point for a free dice roll.
So Elia has been cartwheeling and doing, backflips and just self-entertaining as we've been going along. And she starts to stand on one hand, and with her head upside down, she looks at Gargesha and says, "Where have you come from?"
Gargesha responds, "I'd tell you, but there's no way you'd hear me above the racket of your jingle bells. Can you hold still for just 5 minutes? I'm trying to take in the scene."
Elia does a backflip to make as much noise as possible with her bells. And then complies and holds still.
Crimson goes up to Gargesha and asks, I must ask, where did you get that outfit from? I would love one just like it.
That's right. Yeah.
I think we all have an outfit like Gargesha has underneath our clothes. I got mine at the market the next town over. Totally swindled some guy over it. Just did, a couple acrobatic tricks, and he was just in such awe that he sold them to me for half price. Such a steal.
Each of you gets 1 luck point. You can add that to your character sheet and use it to cash in a free reroll in case you hate your roll. Finally, the lawn ends and you ascend the steps up to the main double door entrance to this massive hallway. As you approach this front entrance, you have a question about this scene. It appears as a old dusty manor with the windows dusty, and you can see the curtains have been drawn. The house looks like it has not been used in 100 years. And there is no lock on the door. What questions might you have as you ask your senses? What are you paying attention to? Elia.
I'm wondering why there's no lock on the door. Does it look like it's been opened recently?
It does not. It looks like it's never been opened.
Never. Are there any other entrances on the front of the building?
There are none on the front of the building. Traditionally, there is usually a back door. And just to keep things flowing in like a rhythm, I like the Elia, Gargesha, Crimson order. You can interrupt each other, but if I don't say anything, just assume you're going next. Gargesha.
Yeah, there's a great and deep mystery here. I can feel the heaviness of this place, and no one has walked through this door in 100 years. I can tell by the thick dust and dirt that settled on the outside. There's no footprints, no hand marks. I can't wait to start figuring out this mystery.
I wonder if there must be a magic binding of some sorts, or is it just available to walk in, but no one's brave enough to do it?
Crimson, if you want, you can make the first D20 roll at a cost of time. You are going to study this. You can use any one of your skills that you seem fit. You'll just have to ask me before you roll. Otherwise, just roll a straight D20. You're going for a 9 or higher.
You got a 12.
A 12 is a success, and as you study this, you look very quickly, and in a short amount of time, you determine this is not even magically altered. There's nothing impeding the ability for you to open the door and walk straight through.
Can I open it?
Crimson walks through the door, opens it, and you can hear the creak of 100 years as the house yawns, the dust settles, kind of puffs up at your feet. As you walk into this massive hallway, you see that you're in the main entrance, and there are stairs stairs all the way across the hall from you. There's a doorway to your right that leads to some sort of study. Elia, how do you respond?
I'm torn between the stairs and between the study. I think I'm more drawn to the study. So I'm going to take a look at the door and see if there's anything that stands out as unusual.
And you're going to stay in the main hall?
Is that door still in the main hall?
Yes, it is. Just clarify, you're staying at the doorway looking in, not going into the study.
No, I'm gonna be brave and walk up to the study door.
Okay. Inside the study door, you see it as a dining room. There is a large dining table, 12 oak chairs, and a magic wand sitting on the table. You also see a 6-foot-tall portrait of a man with a black beard. He's portrayed in an exotic silk robe. He is sitting in an armchair, watching you with a smile. He holds a red book in one of his hands, and books are stacked on the floor all around his feet. And behind him, another door is ajar.
Are any of the book titles visible?
In the portrait, no.
Okay. So I assume that I recognize that this is a magic wand. I've probably seen enough of them. Do I see any indication that maybe its owner has, keyed it to themselves or anything else like that?
Not at this distance.
Then I'm going to go up closer and examine it.
Elia leaves the room. Gargesha and Crimson, you were in the main hall by yourself. You just saw Elia leave into the dining hall. How do you respond?
I'm following.
You're going to follow? I'll follow as well, but I'm going to hang back just a bit because I want to see just kind of what happens as you guys kind of open up new territory.
Okay. Elia, as you examine the wand, I would like you to make a check, a test, to see if you can determine if this wand is secured, password protected. It's going to be a 12 or higher.
I rolled a 9.
Okay, so you don't know, so what I'm going to do is ask the Oracle and leave it up. Okay, I have the answer, but you don't know.
Oh. Thanks, DM.
The question is, the question I asked the Oracle is the wand password protected, sealed to the owner? The answer I have, but you don't know.
Well, since I'm looking at this wand, it's right in front of me, and as far as I can tell, it's fine. It's totally fine. So I'm gonna reach out and grab it, take a closer look.
And as you grab it, it is fine. It is not password protected, and it is a wand of paralyzation. You can cast Paralyze as long as you do it correctly. You can put that in your spell inventory.
Elia, do you have any sense of what that wand does?
I get the sense that it's a wand of paralyzation or paralyzation. I can, maybe I'm not sure how I activate this thing, but apparently I can paralyze beings. Do I know how it's activated?
Typically with wands, you just thrust it at the person with your intention and hope for the best.
Okay. So I'm going to wave it toward Gargesha with no intention, as though I'm going to cast it on her, and then
Don't! You're pointing at me. Don't do me.
All right. Well, hey, you
Oh, crap.
you are going to make a wand check in case it goes off. On a 5 or lower, it goes off.
3.
Ah! Gargesha, you suddenly feel your body just tighten up and your eyes bug out and you are stiff and you are going to be stiff for 2 rounds. At that moment, Crimson, you hear the thudding of 6 feet. Someone busts through the door and they say, quick, the giant's coming. He's coming. Oh, you idiot. I told you not to bring the goose. The goose is going to kill us killed. No, we have to get the goose. Got to get the golden egg. You run that way. I'll run that way. Are you kidding me? I'm out of here. And then you hear thud, 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 thud. You look out the window and you see a 30-foot tall, bearded cloud giant. He's got a large handbell that he's using as a flail and he's swinging it around and he throws a cow straight through the dining hall window. I need each of you to roll dodge. So, to get out of the way and avoid taking cow damage, you're going to have to roll under your dodge score. So find your dodge score on your character sheet. Gargesha, you automatically fail because you are paralyzed.
Just made it. I rolled a 10. And that's my score.
No. You want to roll under dodge.
Oh.
Sorry.
Then I did not make it.
Okay.
I got an 8 and my dodge is 9. So that means I made it, right?
Success. Crimson dodges out of the way as this cow comes bashing through the window. Gargesha, the cow hits you straight on. You take 2 points of damage, so your health score is now -2. Elia, you only take 1 point of damage as you're able to get out of the way just a little bit. The cow comes crashing through and starts moving and sliding, crashing into the tables and chairs. Gargesha, you got your health minused?
Yes.
Okay. Large giant outside, he's swinging his bell and he is going to smash it into the side of the wall.
Do I see this coming?
Yeah, you see it now. It's happening all now. And Gargesha, you are underneath the table. The cow is crushed in the area. And Crimson, what you see as you dodged out of the way, you see that there are 3 other adventurers. Looks like a wizard, a fighter, and a thief. And they have strangled in their grasp a giant goose, very large goose, and they're trying to keep it from honking. Outside, Elia, you hear the giant scream, "Give me back my goose!"
I'm going to dive under the table and I'm going to cover Gargesha because I got her into a predicament where she can't take care of herself.
Thank you. That's the least you could do.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, roll a d20 for me, Elia. Just a regular, straight, random d20.
17.
17. Okay. All of the adventurers, you hear Helmet, Lisbeth, Anne. They start running away as they hear the goose break free from their grasp, and they go chasing after the goose up the stairs. Except for one. Helmet doubles back and says, "Oh, to heck with this," and he runs out the door. The giant sees him and tries to catch up with him. And within seconds, Helmet sprinting across this massive 200-yard lawn gets football kicked into the air and blown in half. He splatters. The giant then stomps him into the ground with glee and then yells at the smashed human and says, "Where's my goose?" And then he eyeballs you, Crimson, and sees you through the doorway. And he runs back towards the manor. Elia, it is now your turn.
I am going to desperately try to unparalyze Gargesha
With the wand?
with the wand.
Okay.
I don't know how else. I mean,
All right. You just roll a d20 check. It's going to be a 12 or higher to successfully cast the spell.
I rolled a 1, but I would like to use my luck point.
Oh, yes. Please do.
19.
19 is a success. She points the wand back at you, Gargesha. You see the wand begin to tremble as it's about to discharge, but by some power of the gods, It manages to go off right, and you feel yourself now unparalyzed, but also with the opposite effect. You feel that the opposite of paralyzation, jittering. You are now jittering, and your body is shaking and shivering. So everything that you do moving-wise is going to be done at a disadvantage. You are now under the table. It is your turn, Gargesha.
I can feel the deep mysteries of this place, and I believe that wand can unparalyze. If it can unparalyze me, I believe it can unparalyze the man in the painting, and he has a message for us from the wisdom of his books. I think we should try it, but I'm just leveraging someone else's powers. It's very TE of me. Real life TE. I need you to do something for me.
I love it.
That's funny. Okay.
Elia's face just lights up in excitement. She is like so excited to try this. This is like a new experience for her. She is just elated, and she turns around and she like waves the wand for all she's worth in the direction of the portrait.
Crimson, you're kind of middle of the doorway. You see these two adventurers chase the goose up the stairs. You see the poor soul out there, and you see the giant coming towards you, about to reach his hand through the main door. I would like you to take your turn now.
So my number one skill is prayer, and I'm curious what that entails.
So prayer is a form of magic in Bonzaril. It is a manner of accessing magic from the gods. Unlike wizards and warlocks and sorcerers, you have a relationship with the god of time. His name is Cronolia, and he knows when Ragnarok or the apocalypse will occur, and so that's why you follow him. Crimson is unique dragonkin in that she defected from the Dragonborn Empire. I'm not sure why, but she just left. And you now follow the god of time, Cronolia. So anytime you roll prayer, you can access one of your spells. I think you have a list of them as well.
Okay, so we are definitely going to do that. Wait, so then miracle and call down fire and bless. What do you do?
Well, it's miracle. It sounds like what it is. It's praying for a miracle. Kind of like a blank check. Call down fire is like that. Call down fire from heaven. So, what's Crimson gonna do?
Okay, I'm definitely gonna pray for a miracle.
Okay. Tell me how you do it, and then you have to roll for a miracle. It's going to be a 15 or higher. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to pray for a miracle that the guy gets unparalyzed and the giant morphs from where we are to where the people are with the goose.
Okay. All right, if you get a 15 higher on a prayer check, that's a d20 plus your prayer bonus.
Okay, I got a 14. Oh, wait, plus a bonus?
He gets
your prayer bonus.
Unpulverized, put back together.
Oh.
Are you talking about the dead man?
No, the guy in the painting.
Oh, thank you. Wow, I already forgot about that.
Okay, so with my prayer bonus, I got 19.
19, Crimson! You pray to the god of time, and almost as to stop time, you suddenly see everything slow down. You hear the grass growing. You hear the dust collecting and murmuring in whispers as it creates its own little dust colony. Everything slows down, and you see the painting begin peeling, ages and ages, centuries old, and suddenly the man's eyes in the painting start to dart over and look at Elia and say, "Please put that wand away!" Then suddenly, the giant, mid-step, disappears and appears at the top of the stairway, crushing through the roof, his whole body hulking form, and one of the Apocalypse Anne, the wizard, she runs right into his kneecap. The other, the thief, holding the goose or chasing after the goose, continues to go up the stairs. The giant is now in Willowby Hall. This is a very NE game. I believe it. Yes. Okay. Elia, your turn. The man just spoke to you.
I stammer out, what wand? And then I only then put it behind my back.
Listen to me. I know women like you. You're just like my wife, trying to turn everyone else against me. Listen, have you seen her?
What does she look like?
What did she look like? She's Lady Willoughby. She's tall, dark hair, sinister gaze, manipulative behavior.
I look around. Oh, well, I don't see anybody like that around here. I haven't seen anybody like that.
That's because she slew us in one fateful night, me and all my hunting party at a dinner we were having. She fed us some kind of poison or everything, and next thing I know, we're all in Deadsville, borderline of the abyss. Now, you must go find her, or her spirits, or something about her, and bring her to me, because I have some words to say.
I bet you do.
Don't take that sort of tone with me.
And
I am
I
Lord
kind of-
Willoughby. And even though I'm trapped in this painting, and I'm speaking from Avatar of Death, I will come and find you. He starts to study you up and down, making sure he marks you for the afterlife. Listen to me. You don't want to toy with me. I know demons. I know devils.
I start to lift the wand ominously, but I'm pointing just off to the side of him, just kind of in a threat. Does he know what the wand is?
I think he's gonna fight back. Okay.
Oh,
Suddenly, you see the painting just falls off the wall and lands on top of you. Once again, roll dodge to avoid damage.
13.
That is a fail, I believe. You take 7 points of damage as this apparition crashes down on top of you. Gargesha, it is your turn.
I'm going to try to save her. I don't have a terrible amount of strength. So I do have a lot of wisdom and charisma, so let me just think for 1 second.
Yeah, once again, the table is messed up, the chairs everywhere, there's a cow trying to right itself, and then this giant painting falls and lands, flattening Elia to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I ask the man in the painting,
Like, lifts it up.
how do you like laying face down in the dirt?
This is preposterous! What are you, a goblin? Who are you? Oh, gosh, you're butt naked! This is terrible heathen, this whole place has gone to hell! Where's my lawyer? I'm going to kill that woman if she's not already dead. Listen to me. Do you serve the dark gods? I promise you. Life, immortality, anything. Get me upright in this moment. I command you.
I don't seem to be the one in a position to be commanded. You yourself are face down without the ability to right yourself. So what I suggest is you release my friend from under you, and then I will turn you upright.
Defies the laws of physics, but okay, I'll go with it. You can.
I'll say that.
Yeah,
let me see.
please.
Oh no, can I revise? Okay. I will lift you no further than 2 feet from the floor, and if you allow my friend to escape, and tell us the secret wisdom of your books, the treasures of this house, and where they are hidden, I will prop you upright. Otherwise, you'll be eating dust for eternity. So I lift the picture up only 2 feet off the ground because I'm not that strong. So I lift it up. He has to decide, I guess, if he wants to help.
He does. All right. He doesn't believe you can read, you filthy goblin. So you're gonna have to make an easy check. So 9 or higher to convince him. You can use any one of your skills if it's appropriate.
So what does that mean?
You got a couple skills there. You have to call them out for me, but I don't think any of them apply.
I have wisdom. Intelligence is low, but wisdom is high. I'm not sure how that works, but
None of those will apply. Yeah, these are just skills. You got pit fighting, tracking,
got it.
stealth.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, I don't think any of those will work. So just a 9 or higher D20
Okay.
check.
Ooh, a 4.
All right, he just laughs and says, "You have no idea what I've been eating for breakfast. It's much worse than dust. I can handle dust for a couple more minutes. It'll only be a matter of time before the house wakens and punishes you looters and raiders and consorts with my beloved bride." At that moment, Crimson, you start to hear three skeletons arise from the closets and break out, and they look like housemaids. They have like little dusters and mops and buckets, and they start to clean up the dining room. And they're kind of pushing the mop around you as if they're perturbed that you're in their space. One of them is like trying to shoo the cow out of here, and they're going to upright the painting to restore the room to its former glory. It is your turn.
Okay, so I don't know whether prayer or infernal dealings would be better here, but I want to become friends with the house and get it on my side.
The whole house. It is not infernal. It is not infernal, so you'll just have to make a D20 check. It's going to be super hard. You can make a 19 or higher to succeed.
Ooh.
Straight D20 roll.
Great D20.
See how lucky you are.
I got a 19.
Shut up! Oh my gosh! I think that thing heard me.
I'm sure it did.
Yes, I know. Okay, Crimson. How does this work? Why don't you take the wheel?
All right, so I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna walk over to the painting and I'm gonna prop him upright. I'm gonna say, "Hey, look here, I'm the master of this house now, and I don't appreciate the way that you just treated my friends. So now, how this is gonna work is you're gonna tell me what we need to do to get the treasures of this house."
He stands there, and just something about the way your eyes look, and mostly about the way the skeletons kind of turn their heads in response to your authoritative tone. And he says, "Well, I suppose I can't argue. It's very simple. No one's ever raided this place because, well, it's been just simply a fearful place to be. My wife did her job in setting a legacy of death. Anyone who stepped foot in here has had to deal with the house. It has a way of waking up as it's being disturbed. But be honest, nothing in here is of value to me. It's all free for the taking if you can survive the house. It is a finicky beast. Finicky pet, if you would. My wife's pet. But if you really want to take down the house, you find out where she is, what she is doing, what she did that fateful night. I do not know. I just remember her wry smile as everything went black. Find her, and I suppose you'll find the secret to the house. I admit, I knew nothing of my house. I spent most of the time off on hunting parties. I should have been tending more to the home and the manor. I suppose I had it coming. Very well. Would you please put me upright again?
Yes, sir. Thank you for your help. I put him back up on the wall.
Hello, Sojourners. This is Jonathan behind the screen. Once again, you are listening to Tabletop Stories, a production of Sojourners Awake, and we are performing the wonderful adventure, The Waking of Willowby Hall, an adventure one-shot from Questing Beast Games written by Ben Milton. It's a fantastic adventure. You should go check it out, search for it now, and purchase it on your own. You might be wondering a little bit of how I ran the adventure. It's very simple. After purchasing the PDF, I went through and looked through all the exciting things that could possibly happen. And let me tell you, it is a bunch of random tables. It is pure chaos incarnate, as you will totally see in the rest of this episode. But it kept me on my feet quite a bit. And it was a little bit of an exercise in trying to think on the spot of all the random things that could happen and how to connect it to an overall story. Let me tell you, it was quite the adventure. Everyone had a fun time, and it was pure hilarity to see how everyone responded to the random hijinks that took place with every time the giant rang the bell. Anything is possible in this game, so you should check it out and purchase it for yourself. Well, anyway, back to the story.
So then, can I ask them to tell me where the wife is?
Asking the skeletons?
Yeah.
Okay. Skeletons kind of chatter and they start speaking, but nothing's coming out of their mouth. They do point upstairs, though. With that being said, time to roll another D20. You suddenly hear Mildred the Goose start honking very loudly from the second story. The giant is stuck in this position. He starts to crimp and crate and move around, waking the house up even more. You then hear a very loud roar. Some kind of beast has awoken inside of this hall. You're in the dining room. To your right is the breakfast room, and to your left is the Great Hall. How do you proceed?
My vote is for the Great Hall.
Elia, as you move your party into the Great Hall, you see that the giant is in a very tight spot, he's in a cramped position, completely hunched over, and his arm is sticking into one axis of the west wing and his left arm into the east wing, and his feet are kind of protruding down the stairwell. And he's just looking around, he's just like, oh, what my goose! And he starts to flex his muscles on his back and starts to raise the ceiling just a little bit. How do you proceed?
So I'm concerned he's going to wake this house up even more, and it seems like this house is a threat. So I'm going to point my wand right at his nose, and with intention.
To paralyze him.
Yes.
All right. 15 or higher.
I rolled a 14.
Oh, you shoot, and he's like, oh, that tickles. Oh. His side of his face just starts drooping a little bit. And he's like, what is going on? His tongue hangs out. He is going to push down one of the pillars. And now you see that there are 12 pillars holding up the foundation of the house in this great hall. He kicks one, and for the first time, each of you notice that on the pillars is a glowing purple sigil. As this pillar cracks under the weight of his boot, the house begins to shake and tremble. The dust begins to unsettle, and the skeletons turn an ominous eye towards Gargesha and Elia, but not Crimson. They seem to be making an advance on you. Gargesha, it is your turn.
What did you say was on the pillar?
There looks like a sigil, like a runic sign that has been arcanely crafted into each of the pillars. One of them is now broken, and the house did not like that.
I'm going to run for it. I don't know if these guys are coming with me, but I think we need to move. We need to get away from the skeletons and away from the giant if possible.
So across the Great Hall is a music room. A door is wide open to that. It's on your left.
Yeah, we could head for the music room.
Gargesha, Crimson, and Elia, you run from the skeletons and the giant in the Great Hall. As the room shakes, into this music room, you see that there is pale green floral wallpaper, peeling and disgustingly filthy. You smell mold very strongly in this room, especially on the north wall. There is some of the north wall has been broken through, and there's a large sledgehammer in the room. You see a couch that has been eaten by moths, 3 dusty armchairs, and a dilapidated harpsichord with the lid closed. In the music room, you see that there is one more door that goes to a sitting room. Otherwise, you're in here now completely unbothered. Elia, what do you pay attention to?
Do I see any other instruments besides the harpsichord?
No, you do not.
Elia feels a sudden urge to go tickle the ivories.
Oh, okay. When you sit down at the harpsichord, you do see that there is a music. Says to Lavina for all eternity. And it looks like some kind of written sheet music on there.
Can I read the sheet music?
Are you a musician?
Oh, I do. Yes, I have music.
Okay. Looking at the music, you play through it. You must roll a 12 or higher on a music check.
I must be a bit rusty. I only rolled a 6.
Ooh, as you roll a 6, the harpsichord suddenly erupts with black spiders that swarm up and down your body and begin to bite you. You must now roll under your constitution score, or you take 10 points of damage.
I rolled under.
You are safe. You scrape them all off, and there's a couple bites, but you're able to shrug off the poison. Spiders go spewing everywhere. Crimson, how do you respond?
Sorry, guys.
Can I try to bless the house?
You want to bless the house? Calm down. Yeah, 19 or higher, hotshot, on a prayer check. Go ahead.
18.
No!
Well,
Okay, so as you pray and bless, you move a little too close to the spiders. Some of the spiders crawl up your arm as you're trying to bless it. And, let's see. You must roll under your con score or take 7 points of damage.
Nope, I got 14.
All right, you are unable to withstand the poison. The spider crawls up your sleeve, begins to bite you on your back. These are chunky, big spiders, about the size of meatballs. You feel the biting and everything, and you suddenly feel just that tension and pain. Gargesha, you see that spiders have burst out of the harpsichord. There's a sledgehammer on the north wall. There's a doorway leading to the sitting room. And your friends are getting bit. How do you respond?
Yeah, I'm a pit fighter. So I have no problem picking up that sledgehammer and just getting in the pit with those spiders. So I'm about to tear them apart.
All right, make a pit fighter check. Give yourself a +3 bonus because you're using a really cool weapon.
Okay. Awesome.
12 or higher, please.
13.
Yeah, you smash them and smack them to the side. One of them actually crawls up Elia's head, and you just tell her to hold still, and then smack it off her head at the last minute. You go splattering across the room. The spider guts are everywhere now.
Delicious.
Ellie.
Thanks, Gargesha. Oh man, that was traumatic. I hated that so much. I hate spiders. They're awful. I can still feel them crawling all over me. Let's get out of here.
I don't know. I think we need to find some treasure. It seems like there might be something good in this room.
Yeah. Did any of those spiders survive? Did we see where they retreated to? Because a nasty black spider seems very characteristic of this wife. And my guess is if we follow the spiders, we'll find the wife.
Where does Gargesha look?
Every story comes to an ending, so for now we must conclude. Thank you for listening, Sojourners. Your attention will not go unrewarded, and we look forward to continuing this venture. Indeed, we are going to complete part 2 of the Waking of Willowby Hall. It only gets crazier from here, and you'll be excited to see how the Sojourners managed to survive. Thanks again to Questing Beast, Ben Milton, for producing such a wonderful adventure. You can purchase it for yourself at drivethrurpg.com, The Waking of Willowby Hall. For more information on becoming a game master at your table, visit Sojourners Awake at www.sojournersawake.com. And however you choose to sojourn with us, as always, may your story continue.